Delhi's winter tells two stories. One is celebration, light, families, Diwali, a time when a city brightens. The other is quieter, more urgent, a struggle to breathe under a pall of pollution. In 2025, we saw an unusual meteorological breather. But the headlines this October showed an uncomfortable truth. Weather can buy relief, but governance buys clean air. Today, we will unpack the methodology that helped the human and agriculture factors that complicate it, the role of the courts, and what durable policy reform must look like. Section 1 is a rare meteorological silver lining. This year's monsoon withdrew unusually early. The withdrawal progressed through late September, one of the earliest exits in over 2 decades. That early retreat allowed dry northwesterly winds to set in sooner, increasing ventilation over the plains and lowering the tendency for pollutants to stagnate close to the ground. The India Meteorological Department reports confirm an early transition and show rainfall patterns that favored an earlier monsoon exit in 2025. On top of that, transient western disturbances, episodic showers that helped wash particulates from the lower atmosphere. In short, the weather gave Delhi a temporary window of cleaner air, but this is a volatile gift, not a guaranteed fix. The climate connection, ENSO and La Nina perspective. Global climate rhythms matter. The El Nino Southern Oscillation ENSO influences wind patterns and temperature over India. As of mid-October 2025, global forecasts were showing ENSO neutral conditions trending toward La Nina. La Nina tendencies can strengthen surface winds and help dispersion in some years, but they can also bring colder, more stagnant nights if the event is a week or prolonged. So, La Nina net effect on Delhi's winter air is conditional, potentially helpful for dispersion in one such scenario and potentially worsening nocturnal trapping in another. Agriculture floods and the timing of smoke. This year's story on farm fires was complicated. Flooding and waterlogged fields across parts of Punjab and Haryana delayed paddy harvest by about 1 to 2 weeks in many areas. That delay reduced the usual early November spike of stubble burning. So temporarily, the smoke plume that normally overlays Delhi during Diwali was smaller. Reports from regional agriculture monitoring shows a notable decline in recorded farm fires in Punjab and Haryana this harvest too. But that relief is fragile. Delayed harvest compress the Rabi showing window and impose economic pressures that often push farmers toward the cheapest field cleaning option, burning. Paddy straw has high silica content and limited use as fodder. So without large scale access to mechanized in situ solutions or strong incentives for alternate management, the problem reappears every season. Fireworks, the Supreme Court and real world outcome. Heading into Diwali 2025, the Supreme Court of India relaxed an earlier complete ban on firecrackers in the Delhi NCR and permitted government approval green crackers on a trial basis under strict condition and limited sale window. Despite those limits and promises of lower emission from green formulation, Diwali nights saw widespread bursting and major air quality spikes. Reuters coverage found Delhi among the most polluted cities globally that night. Data gaps that hide the worst are one striking and worrying detail from this October. Several official monitoring stations went offline during peak pollution hours, often around midnight to early morning, creating gaps in the public record precisely when emissions were highest. Investigations and media reports found 5-hour blackouts at key stations and stations that showed reading over 1,000 microgram per meter cube for PM 2.5 before going offline. Those blackouts risk under-reporting the true intensity of the pollution spikes, and they undermine public trust in official AQI numbers. Why short-term fixes won't do? You will hear many quick solutions proposed: smoke towers, water sprinkles, cloud seeding, or temporary ban. These measures can offer cosmetic or transient improvements, but they don't touch the root cause: vehicular emission, industry and power sector pollution, construction dust, open waste burning, and farm residue burning. The Supreme Court has repeatedly called out weak enforcement by state and central agencies, and courts can only rush real change need consistent, coordinated policy implementation. Structural solution. If weather and short fixes are not the answer, what is? Stable experts and research institutions point to an airside approach. Managing emissions across the whole Delhi NCR airshed, not just inside the city limit. That means coordinated action by Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, and Uttar Pradesh on transport, industry, waste management, and agriculture. A promising blueprint is the National Air Quality Resource Framework of India (NARFI), developed by the National Institute of Advanced Studies and partners. It imposes building a national knowledge network for forecasting emission inventories, targeted interventions, and policy coordination. Coupling that with incentives for in-situ stubble management, wider adoption of electric mobility, targeted industrial emission mapping, and transparent continuous AQI monitoring could shift us from signal firefight to system control. The role of citizens in public health farming and conclusion. Finally, public participation matters. Individual choices, avoiding private petrol diesel trips when possible, not busting crackers, refusing to burn waste add up. But we must reframe this as a public health emergency, not merely a seasonal nuisance. The World Health Organization's guidance on the particulate exposure reminds us the health harms are profound and cumulative. Reducing exposure is a collective responsibility. Delhi's brief despite in 2025 shows how much weather can shape outcome. Early monsoon withdrawal and transient winds brought cleaner air. La Nina prospects offered hope for dispersion. But when monitors fails, when courts must step in repeatedly, and when farmers lack viable alternatives, it becomes clear. This is a governance and policy crisis as much as an environmental one. If we want clean skies every winter, not just when the wind favors us, we need science-led policy, cooperative federal action across the airtight, transparent monitoring, and incentives that remove the economic logic for burning. The Supreme Court's interventions matter, but lasting change will come from implementation, accountability, and a shared resolve. Thank you for listening. If you found this deep dive useful, like and subscribe for more coverage of environment, governance, and public policy. Drop a comment with questions. I will read the best ones in the next episode.